Hey, all right, we're live. Let's see, get a little chat check going here. It is working on my end. Looks like it is working possibly on you guys' end. So yeah, LMC Legacy Motor Club. They had their director of business or whatever, president of business operations or something. I don't know. He dipped out after 2 months. That was unexpected and interesting. Might be some disorganization there since the Jimmy Johnson takeover or something. I don't know, but definitely not running as good eyeball test speed wise. Now I looked up the numbers, and numbers wise, they're actually running about the same as they ran the first six races of last year. But just visibly looking at them, they've been slower. So that's interesting. And then, of course, all the other stuff. Martin Truex Jr. On the radio, clapping back at his crew chief. That was interesting as well. Didn't get a chance to talk about that yesterday. And what else? Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin had his day in court. I don't know what happened with that, so hopefully we'll find out about that later. Let's go jump into the comments real quick. Briscoe is going to race a truck in Bristol. Yeah, that's a fact too. That's Mark Barnum there. Bumblebee says Jones was pretty good at Atlanta. That's been about all he can claim to fame this year, though. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Richmond's not typically his track, though. By the numbers, Eric Jones at Richmond, pretty bad. But that being said, the Legacy Motor Club cars were probably even worse. Didn't help that situation at all. But that one surprised me was Gilliland outrunning Jones. That's pretty embarrassing. I don't know. Front row motorsports. They're pretty good. They've gotten better each year. Let's see. Mark Barnum. So is Joey Logano, Davenport. And here we go. There we go. We are down to now. Mark Barnum saying so is RFK. RFK is on the rise up this year as well. How Muns was good. What's good, man? Shy says hello, folks. Diesel Chrome. What's up? Bumblebee saying I'm using my husband's phone, so my keyboard is different. So sorry for any typos and stuff. Yeah, that's always going to be an adjustment. You guys remember the old phones when you flipped them out? They had an actual keyboard built into the phone. That's like mid 2000s, pre iPhone stuff. So that was I just that made me think of that for some reason. Let's see here. I feel like Cole Pern about time to come back, says Bumblebee. Yeah, so it seems to be a lot of heat. Seems to be a lot of heat on Martin Truex Jr. as crew chief, without a doubt. A lot of people want him gone. So I don't know. I've heard worse interactions on the radio, so I don't know. It didn't seem like a huge deal to me, but a lot of people say that goes on a lot. So maybe it's time for a change up over there. I wouldn't be surprised if Logano wins this weekend, says one wise guy. Yeah, he's pretty good at Bristol Dirt, no doubt about it. Mark Barnum saying Ron Capps is going to run SRX. I saw that. That's pretty cool. I've been waiting for him to get a drag racer in there, and I figured when Tony Stewart went over and started drag racing, he'd make some new friends over there that wanted to try out some round track stuff. So that's really cool. Shout out to Ron Capps for putting himself out there like that too. I saw that Mark ready to see that, says Bumblebee as well. Jonathan Davenport will be cleaning the house at Bristol this weekend, says William Wagaman. Yeah, so a lot of people are saying Jonathan Davenport's probably going to win both of the races that he's in. T-Van says, glad to see Truex upset. He is normally pretty mellow. So there you go. That might be what people are getting at. I've never really listened to Martin Truex Jr.'s radio, so I don't have a strong comment on that one way or the other. But that would make sense if he normally is pretty mellow and he got upset quite often now. It seems like is it James Small, his crew chief? So that might be time to end that one. Michael Honeychuck, what's up, man? Bumblebee says I like Ron. Talking about Ron Capps and saying what's up to the roofer. T-Van, Roofer saying what's up to T-Van. Robin Marks, I was going to watch Denny's video, but you started. Take off, you hose heads. Greetings, y'all, from Kazakhstan. Yeah, I haven't watched Denny's video either. I have seen basically the highlights. Thank God for Twitter, right? Twitter jumped onto the highlights immediately. He said him running into J.J. Yaley was a mistake, and that is 100%, in my opinion, false. He wrecked J.J. Yaley on purpose. In my mind, there's no doubt about that. I don't even need to see SMT trace data. He got a little hot under the collar because he was already far behind, and J.J. Yaley cut him off, and he sent J.J. Yaley into the wall, which normally I wouldn't really care about. Like somebody chopped you off, you go ahead and move them out of the way. That's fine. But the hypocrisy I'm calling out is he was talking about all last week. Drivers need to have respect for each other. So that's the hypocrisy I was pointing out. A lot of people jumped on me saying he wasn't being a hypocrite. He told people he was going to do that or something like that. Any driver in that situation would have done that. I wasn't talking about that hypocrisy. I was talking about the hypocrisy of he said everybody should drive with respect, and then the very next weekend he drove without respect himself. That's the hypocrisy I was talking about. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying he was the main one talking about respect. Molten Rage says another team that's struggling, and I'm surprised. I was expecting a pretty big improvement at Colleague. What the heck is happening over there? They are struggling. Finished inside the top 30 as well. Well, they're not struggling too bad because they got two of Petty GMS, formerly Petty GMS, Legacy Motor Club sponsors. So they at least got the business side of it down. I don't know. Let's see. Halmon says, if MTJ misses the playoffs again, do you think Joe Gibbs will give him the axe? If Joe Gibbs gives him the axe, then Dale Jr. will definitely start up his organization with him, I think, in my opinion. Bumblebee saying the BlackBerry was my first phone. I remember that, the old Crackberries, because people couldn't peel them from their hands. They definitely had a keyboard on them. Bologna, what's up, gang? Says E. Damon. What's up, E. Damon? T-Van, what's up? Shah says, not telling your driver he is on scuffs is unacceptable. Yeah, that was pretty dumb. They should have said something. I agree with that. Say Kyle, not Cal. What does your gut think is going to happen for appeals this week? Well, obviously, I feel like Colleague has to get theirs reduced. If Colleague doesn't get theirs reduced, it's going to be an absolute epic meltdown failure on social. Denny Hamlin, I don't know, man. He basically admitted that he did it on purpose. I don't know if he's got any wiggle room there. Maybe he gets the points thrown out based on the William Byron deal. So he might get the points reinstated, but I think he's definitely still going to pay the fine. So I think best case scenario for Denny is he gets the points back. And Daniel Suarez is not going to appeal. So there you go. My pick, Bill, embarrassed himself this past weekend with his poor take. He only proved how much Ross the Boss is in everyone's head, says Matt Hunter. Yeah, I like Christopher Bell too. I'm with you, and I was surprised that he melted down like that, to be totally honest. But yeah, it just shows that throughout the garage, it's getting pretty bad the way Ross is getting deep into their heads. It looks like at least a lot of competitors. Shah says, I like the Days of Thunder on the. It's like Days of Thunder, the crew chief. Whoops. Let's see here. It's like Days of Thunder, the crew chief. The tires are staggered special, says Shy. Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a Harry Hog moment, right? I'm rooting for Haley in the Tide Ride for the win. Awesome looking car. Yeah, it's going to be so weird not seeing Eric Jones drive that car. That's going to be something to get used to, even though it was only for 2 years now. But that does stink. But yeah, Justin Haley, good driver. I'm gonna pull for him in it too, because it's hard not to pull for a Tide car. That was one of the very first posters I ever had, was the Darrell Waltrip. It was called the Machine poster, and Billy Chandler got that for me, so that was pretty cool. Why does Joey's truck look like wild berry Pop Tarts? I don't know. Shy says, Pop Tarts. Best Tide scheme I've seen in years, in my opinion, says T-Van. Yeah, it looks sharp. They always do a good job with the Tide scheme. I can't really recall a bad Tide scheme if there ever has been one. Mark Barnum says the Thor Sport trucks are going to be strong at the dirt race. I think so too. But there's going to be a lot of contenders in there. You got Briscoe, you got Logano, and you've got Davenport. So there's going to be a lot of ringers in there too. So, but Haley Deegan's really good on dirt too, so it wouldn't shock me to see her come in there. But also, the longer they run on dirt on these particular type vehicles, it sort of evens out to be almost like an asphalt track by the end of it. So I don't know if the dirt experience is going to help in the latter stages of the races, but we'll see. Bumblebee says Denny's apology was weak as coffee at the hospital I work at. I expect the 15 will block him every chance he gets this year. I know I definitely would. And I think JJ Yaley did the smart thing in saying, hey, what's the use of me retaliating? But I think 100% he's going to retaliate. But he knows if he said it that way, you can't prove premeditation. So there you go. JJ Yaley, well versed in the law. Joshua Jenkins, hello BB, what's going on with Legacy Motor Club struggling so far? Especially the 43 showed big improvements last year. So if you look at the way Legacy Motor Club finished last year, there were a bunch of top 10s. This year they have started off slow, but I did look at the numbers, and they almost have started off identically this year the way they started off last year. About the next 4 races is actually when Eric Jones started to pick it up. So we're going to have to look at the next 4 races for Eric Jones. Obviously, the 42 car never picked it up last year. So technically, the 42 car is doing much better than the 42 car did last year. So we'll see here. T-Van laughing his butt off at Bumblebee's joke there. Ghetto Streamlabs says, been in Disney World with the wife and kids for the past 11 days. What did I miss? I don't know. Did you go check out the 32 Club down there? Apparently, that's the super secret thing to do at Disney World. Super expensive. I don't think it's even a secret anymore. So, yeah. Other than that, you just missed a whole bunch of penalty drama and short track racing drama because they went to Richmond, and a lot of people got a little warm under the collar. One wise guy says, "Do you think there will be any issues with Project 56 and Hendrick moving forward?" I don't think so. I doubt it. I don't think there will be any friction with that. It's going to be interesting to see if they find anything with the 40, with the 24 and the 48. So I don't know if they've released anything about that yet. I didn't see anything before I jumped on here. Any updates on Dean Thompson? Dean Thompson's good. He jumped up on Twitter. Aaron Flynn, he jumped up on Twitter and said he's fine. Said he had deleted Twitter, but he reactivated it to get on there and tell everybody he was fine. So he's doing good. E-Damon Racing says, I don't think Denny should apologize. He knowing he did it at the time. Don't admit it, but save it. Yeah, I agree with that. Don't admit that you did it because you don't want to get dinged again for a penalty. This is for all drivers. You apologize for a race incident. No one believes the other. LOL. Yeah, don't admit you did it on purpose, I guess is what I meant to say. He should, but he should definitely apologize to JJ Yaley to his face. Don't do it on the podcast. So that's also just like my personal etiquette thing. Bumblebee saying he's okay. Talking about Thompson there. Go Ross go, says Robin Marks. Yeah, Ross Chastain. What's lost in all this is Ross Chastain got another top 3, right? So there you go. Raymond Hulsey says, is Denny a hypocrite? I would have to say he's a hypocrite because he banged all week, or at least in this situation. Look, all human beings are hypocrites. So let me just first and foremost say that we all want things done a certain way, but we all fail in some type of way. So yes, that's the easiest question in the world. All human beings are hypocrites. But yeah, you can't bang on about safety for a full week and then go out there and lose your temper and wreck an underfunded team at that. That was the other thing that really irritated me about it. But he did say he's going to help him out. So that is a stand-up move by him. So that is a stand-up move. But I was happy with his message talking about drivers need to respect each other. And then he goes out here and does this. So I'm like, now nobody's going to listen to you, dude, because you just look like the biggest hypocrite in the world. So there you go. Thomas Nichols says, is he the biggest hypocrite in NASCAR? I don't know. Halmon says, I want people to remember that Cbell might have wrecked Ross on purpose at Michigan when Ross had 4 tires. Maybe Cbell has been mad for a long time and Ross kept it to himself. It could be. But then again, Ross never touched him, so I don't know. Robin Mark says, the Watermelon Man is making melon heads out of some drivers, Denny, etc., moving cars before he even gets to them. You're right, he's in their heads. Yeah, he's 100% in the back of their heads. Now, you know, people will argue variously. Does he have car control? Does he not have car control? Doesn't matter. He's still in their heads. like whether it's by accident or on purpose, they drive a different way when he's behind them. Derek Cope Tide scheme was nice, says Roofer. Streamlabs says, I love the Derek Cope Purelator car. Derek Cope's Purelator car was definitely cool. Legacy is about to come in hot, says Stupid Roofer. Yeah, there's a chance that they pick it up because it was about this time last year that they picked it up. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, but definitely off to a slow start. A lot of people were expecting a lot more of them so far. Haley's Bristol Ride has early 2000s Craven vibes. Yeah, but it's got a little extra on the side too, which just makes it more recent looking. So it's pretty cool. Say Kyle says, Ghetto Streamlabs, hope you had fun and thank you for your visit. It's what keeps us from paying state income taxes. So Florida Man letting you know he appreciates you donating to the tourism of the great state of Florida, where they make more than orange juice. Let's see, T-Van. I want to see a big muddy watermelon on the hood in Victory Lane. That would be pretty cool. How about all the Ross Chastain memes this week too? They've been pretty cool. Feeling anxious about who will drive the number 4 next season. It could be anybody at this point. I don't know. I think they're going to make a big splash and get a free agent though that nobody's really thinking about. Shaw says people seem to realize that freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. We can say whatever we want, but we will be held to account. That's a fair statement. Mark Barnum said, just watch ESPN Blood Life in Times of Brian Deegan on YouTube. Was a good watch. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. He talks about, I don't want to spoil it, but he talks about an injury he had, and that's pretty gnarly. That he was just sitting there. Yeah, just watch it. Just watch it because I don't even know if I can explain it on YouTube. I don't want to risk it. Streamlabs, say Kyle, I got you covered. Pretty sure I paid the entire state of Florida's income taxes. LOL. So yeah, no doubt about it. Streamlabs going hard for his family there. That's definitely a pricey vacation, but I'm sure the kids enjoyed it. It is a fun place to visit. At least when I visited many moons ago, when what I don't know, whatever. I was going to try to say something funny, but I don't have anything there. Eric Jones, I think signed a decent contract extension, didn't he? Says T-Man. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be Eric Jones. He's going to be there for a while. See Kyle, not Cal, laughing at the Florida income jokes there or tourism jokes there. I'm just saying, as a fan, Ross needs to change his driving style. That is his biggest issue, in my opinion. Needs to talk Joey Logano on how to do it better and be aggressive but respectful. I mean, that's a fair point. I think it'll come with time. Like they all sort of calm down after a while. I want to know what everybody is going to do when Calgon Racing gets hammered tomorrow. Says Stephen D'Amelio Jr. I don't know. We'll colleague, I got you. Colleague Racing. I don't know. It's going to be interesting if colleague doesn't get their points at least taken back. It's going to be a huge deal. Matt Hunter, I haven't listened to Actions Detrimental yet. I don't think I will. Denny Downer is all talk. Makes sense. He has a podcast now, says Matt Hunter. Yeah, I mean, based off what he did at Richmond, that's a fair criticism. So, yeah. Denny's contract is up after this year. He might replace Bubba, says Paul Moss. I don't know, man. Bubba still brings in a lot of money, so I don't know. T-Van, Denny needs to respect his elders. JJ had his ride before him with the same sponsor. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people forget that JJ Yaley was actually the first driver of the number 11 FedEx car back in the day. I like Denny's podcast, and I don't particularly like Denny, says Ghetto Streamlabs. So there you go. It's a good podcast, and that's one of those deals. Like, some people like drivers outside of the track, and some people don't like those same drivers when they're on the track. We talk about that a lot on here. There's a lot of drivers like that for people, I think. T-Van, granted, Yaley didn't work out. Yeah. JJ, he never put it together over there. That's just the nicest way to say it. Josh Strickland, Denny says Denny sucks. Matt Hunter says, is Gilliland a candidate for the number 4? I don't know. He's got to be a candidate for something. He's doing pretty good in the car he is in. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a few races the way they've got that deal structured. So he'll be driving for somebody else at least 5 or 6 races this year. T-Van Cope drove a Tide car. I don't remember that one. I think he was referring to the Purelator car because it looked like the old Tide scheme. That's what people said back in the day. That's the way I took it. I might be wrong. Molten Rage says, I remember the reason Ross drives like he does is because he came from where every race he had to keep his job. But now he has job security, so it really makes no sense to drive over his head anymore. Yeah, but that's a hard habit to break, man. Like, I don't know. It's one of those situations until you're in it, it's hard to explain. Josh Strickland says, what did Denny say about wrecking that car last week? He said it was an accident, Josh. He said it was an accident. So clearly it was an accident. Stupid roofer, and I'm being sarcastic. I like Denny for him being vocal about this car last year, but he has let us down. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I like a lot of the things that Denny Hamlin says. I'd like to see a little bit of follow through on his actions. So it was disappointing. Not only that he wrecked a car in anger and showed no respect, but he wrecked an underfunded car. So that really sticks and irks with me because most of the teams I've worked with have been underfunded, and when those cars get wrecked, it really pisses me off. Just to be totally honest with you, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It really pissed me off. So that's not that he cares what I think, but it was pretty shitty of him to wreck an underfunded car. Ghetto Streamlabs. I wonder if the number 4 just goes away. Stuart Haas goes to it. Nah, they'll keep the 4. They'll keep the 4 and they've already said that Rodney Childers is staying on. They'll put somebody in there, and I think they'll get a big free agent as a splash. I think Dale Jr. is going to get his charter from another team, Streamlabs. I think you're on the right track, though. Junior's definitely going to get another charter, but I think Stuart Haas is definitely going to keep the 4, unless Stuart Haas folds. Like, you never know with Tony Stewart. He's always doing something wild and crazy. Denny Hamlin is the biggest hypocrite, says Claude Aviles. I mean, that's a fair point. You can definitely say that after last race, no doubt about it. Hey, BB again from Nova Scotia. What's up, Nova Scotia? What's up, Danny Price? Molten Ray says, I want Todd Gilliland in the 4, please. I don't know. I think Zane Smith's going to get a crack at that 4 before that happens. That's the thing with Zane Smith. I don't know why they're pushing Gilliland out of the car, because I think Zane Smith is going to go to a team that's not Front Row Motorsports in the Ford camp. Brexton Bush to the 4 car. He's already signed a contract with RCR, Greg Staten. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Zane Smith, Keelan Harvick would be a better fit there. Is Zane Smith in the 4 car, says Mark Barnum. That's who I think is a wild card to get it. I still think they go over after somebody like Ryan Blaney or somebody like that and try to make a big splash. Maybe Christopher Bell. Go after somebody like that and make a big splash. It would depend on Christopher Bell's contract and how much of that they had to buy out. He's too young, though. Greg says Molten. Dakota Henderson. If Denny didn't talk about Ross, I don't think we would test. Hey, I mean, that's a fact. He's talked about him quite a bit so far, but Denny Hamlin, he will not run out of topics to talk about. I promise you that. So he'll be good. Danny Price says, woo, no snow left here now. Time to get racing and going again. Danny Price, glad the snow has left. It's nice and warm outside where I'm at as well. Molten Rage, Dakota, he offered that Ross turned it down. So blame Ross for not coming on Denny. I don't know about all that. I'm talking. We're actually talking about Denny Hamlin is talking about. But yeah, we'll see here. Shah from Alberta. So Shah is up there in Alberta, Canada. Joshua Jenkins says they will move Briscoe to the 4, Zane Smith to the 14. I could see that. I could see that for sure. T-Van, I appreciate how Tide just comes back and sponsors different teams every year. I actually like how they kind of sponsor sport. They kind of always tried to stay in it, says T-Van. Yeah, I do too. Like Tide's one of the big ones that's sort of always been there. It's sort of like STP. STP usually does 1 race a year. And they've already confirmed that they're going to do 1 race at least with Legacy Motor Club on that 43. So there's very few sponsors that are around that long, even though they might not sponsor every race. Interstate Batteries is another one that's been around for a long time too. Valvoline, so on and so forth. Oh, where? Whoa. Oh, lost my spot. Sorry about that. Bumblebee saying some no-name late model stock driver or a limited late model stock driver to the 4 in 2024. I never heard of that guy. Let's see here. Denny said he was going to reach out to them and make it right. That said, I agree it was intentional. Yeah, I think it was intentional too. And I think when he thought about it later, he probably felt really bad about it. But he let his emotions get the best of him there, which I don't care about really, except that he went on that big tirade the week before about driving respectful. It's just when somebody does that, you gotta call them out. Shah says, "OMG, I just realized Kyle B sold his kid to Richard." Says Shah. Raymond Husley says, "What's up with Truex and his crew chief? Does Truex want him gone?" That's Martin Truex Jr. would have to answer. I know a lot of people have that are Truex followers have said they feel like Martin Truex Jr. wants a change there. So that's all I can say. Ryan Perez says, what is going on with Legacy MC? They've been slow all year and can't seem to get sponsors, and now they got rid of their lead business guy. Something is up with that team. I agree with you, Ryan Perez. We're just going to have to keep an eye on it and see what happens. That's all I can say there. Maybe that's the team that Dale Jr. buys into. It's already a Chevrolet team. Dale Jr. buys into it. Maybe that's the wild card we didn't see. He's already said he wanted to do a team with Jimmy Johnson anyway. Why not just buy into that one? Seems perfect, right? So it's already got Noah Gregson there. They could, possibly expand and get another team. I think you keep Eric Jones. That'd be the one situation where Dale Jr. wouldn't go with Josh Berry, because I think you probably wouldn't want to get rid of either one of the guys you got there in that situation. So that would free up Josh Berry to go somewhere like Stewart Haas Racing or something like that. For Kevin Harvick. Joshua Jenkins, he did do it on purpose. He just ain't admit it, LOL. Says Joshua Jenkins. Yeah, he didn't want to admit doing it on purpose twice in a row, right? He's already going to an appeals court for one already as it is. Let's see here. I really wanted to understand why Ross didn't take the opportunity. I really want to understand his brain in saying no. Well, Ross didn't go on Denny Hamlin's podcast because Ross Chastain doesn't like Denny Hamlin. So I'll just answer that one for you, Moulton. Get a Streamlabs. It was interesting that Denny talked about the finances and how the backpackers actually turned more profit than the front runners because there isn't much difference in payout and purse. Well, yeah, I mean that could. If you want to make money in racing, right, just run around, buy old tires, and I mean it is still a thing you can do. And until NASCAR actually makes teams sell their charters for finishing bad, then that's going to be a viable financial option. Smoke may someday like Andretti in the 4. Hey, I mean, Smoke thinks outside of the box. Something like that definitely could happen. I think Zane is going to the 4. Yeah, I mean, I could see a situation where Zane goes to the 4 or just goes to Stewart Haas Racing and then they do a shuffle over there. Carvana at Ryan Perez says Stupid Roofer. Yes, that's another one. One of their big sponsors, Carvana, is in trouble too. Let's see. Matt Hunter, will there be a different host venue for Easter weekend in 2024? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if they move the Bristol date. That's going to be something to watch. I'm a Ford guy. But I'd like SHR back with Chevy with Barry behind the wheel of the 4, says Aaron Flynn. Hey, that would be pretty cool. I don't know how deep Barry's contract with Chevrolet is though, so that might be something pretty cheap they could buy out. Say Kyle says Denny shouldn't say anything, otherwise he's got some points to try to get back. LOL, says Say Kyle. I agree with that 100%. That's probably why Denny Hamlin hasn't said, yeah, I dumped him on purpose. So let's give Denny a little bit of leeway there on that one. He's already in basically NASCAR court for saying that he dumped somebody. John Crane says, what's up, John? Good to see you on here. Number 11, dumping JJ Yaley was totally uncalled for. And the reason I'm no longer a fan, remember when he dumped Danica and Elliott? Yeah. So I'm not going to not pull for the guy because of it. But it was crappy. And it's especially crappy because it's an underfunded team. I'm right there with you. I was really disappointed, especially after all that talk last week about driving with respect. And that was a message I was going to get behind. I was like, yeah, people should drive with respect. But now I can't get behind it because the messenger just literally the very next week dumps a car that he easily could have passed in a lap or two, and it really wouldn't have hurt him one way or the other. So he did it out of frustration, and I get that. But it was just a poor move in my opinion. I was not happy about it myself. I'm pissed since the one guy left from Legacy Motor Club and Jimmy took over that team has went nowhere fast, says Brandon Boland. Yep, it's been unfortunate. I agree with you. Philip Kenevan, last week I went to North Turn Restaurant. It has some cool memorabilia. Hey, so there you go. That's one of the ones I need to check out. I haven't been to the North Turn Restaurant yet, so that's next time I venture down that way in Florida. That's definitely going to be on the list of things I go check out and do. Thomas Nichols, what's up? Good to see you on the chat, man. Stevie Roofer, there is definitely something funky going on with that Legacy team. Yeah, I agree with you. Josh Berry, Corey LaJoy to the 4. Oh, if you had to flip a coin, personally, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going with Corey LaJoy. He's got more experience in this Cup car. I think flip a coin. I think they're both really good. But I would go with Corey LaJoy there because he's got more experience in these Cup cars already. It would be a shorter learning curve, and I think you get him up to speed really quick. I would love to see Tony Stewart grab him. That would be really cool. Philip says, Shaw says, Dale Jr. buying into Legacy makes a lot of sense now that I hear it said. I mean, yeah, it's sitting there for the taking, right? Another investor definitely wouldn't hurt. And he's really good at finding sponsors. His sister is really good at running the business side of things. If you integrated that monster, it would be something else. Since the government's pushing recycling, I went through a whole box of Kleenex. Do you think Ross can hand them out to all the crybabies, says Philip? I mean, that would be a great sponsor for Ross Chastain, Kleenex. That would be really cool. Or Kleenex. I don't know how exactly how you say it. We say it Kleenex. Kleenex down here. Kleenex. Molten Rage. The one positive of the something there. The one positive of the crash is Denny is helping take down Rick Ware Racing's chance of keeping the charter. There's no upside to that. The more the merrier. Lose both your charters. Dumb team. Please. I mean, yeah, but they can lose that charter all by themselves. They don't need Denny's help wrecking them. Delmar Kaufman says, good thing Richard Petty is still bringing in sponsorship in the number 43 Air Force, STP, and Club Wyndham. I agree with you. So far, all the sponsors have been for him from the old Richard Petty sponsorships on the 43. So maybe that's why they got rid of the guy. He couldn't bring any sponsors in. The guy is well decorated, though. He was with RFK. He's been with NASCAR. He's been on the marketing side of several big companies. So he had experience, but he was maybe they got rid of him because he wasn't doing the job they wanted him to do, or maybe he jumped ship before the ship sank. So you never know which way it went. Chrome Diesel Slap uploaded another non racing related April 1st. It was enjoyable watching all about that stuff. Not going to say what it is because how picky YouTube is. I'm with you, Chrome Diesel. One of his best videos, and I really enjoyed it. I hate, unfortunately, that he is on the platform he's on, because if he wasn't, I think that thing probably would have over 1 million views. Easy, that thing would have over 1 million views. It's one of the best videos he's ever made, but it is what it is. And I can't talk about it, so it is what it is. Molten says the Elliott one was a mistake. Danica was literally on Danica. Why we still bringing that one up like it was his fault? Know what was Danica's fault? For crying out loud. I don't know. That's been so long ago. I just remember Danica pushed him or something like that. Ryan Perez. However, if you go to Legacy's second to last tweet, Moneyline responded, maybe a potential sponsor. Hey, there you go. That would be cool. Moneyline would be stretching across the 45 or the 2311 and Petty GMS, Legacy Motor Club, whatever you want to call them. Bumblebee says, I love Martin Truex saying they need to bring back rough driving penalties and enforce the heck out of them. He's definitely not wrong. So there you go. That's the one I can get behind. Martin Truex always drives very respectfully for the most part. So there you go. I'll get behind Martin Truex' message of bringing back the rough driving penalty. Joshua Jenkins, that would be awesome if Dale Jr. did bind the Legacy Motor Club. Look, that's nothing I've heard. That's just something I threw out there. So let's not start a rumor or anything like that. But it would make sense because it's just sitting there. And he's already talked about he wanted to do a team with Jimmy Johnson. BB, regarding drivers, talking about respect. It only matters when something happens to them. Been like that for decades. I didn't wreck him. He was in my spot, says E. Damon. That's a fair point, too. A lot of drivers are do as I say, not as I do. I do agree with you there. Gene Haas now has an NHRA win with Tony Stewart's funny car. Hey, there you go. That's pretty cool. Put LaJoy in a very good car, and you got a superstar, in my opinion, says Shaw. And, yeah, you want to talk about a dude with personality. Corey LaJoy's got it by the boatloads. So I think that would be a good situation. Hopefully that he is one of the candidates. Richard Hole says, when you have to refer to NASCAR court, you know the sport has changed. Yeah, basically. Yeah, for sure. It used to just be whatever Bill France said, and that's the way it was going to be. Sponsorship would come in bunches, said Joshua Jenkins. I agree with that 100%. Talking about if Dale Jr. bought into Legacy. And you could keep the name too, right? Because he's another Legacy driver. Robert Stone, Denny is such a hypocrite. And now everyone else can see it. Lost all respect for him years ago. Not calls how he races, but calls it okay when he does it. And most hack thing ever if it was done to him. I mean, that's fair. We love the enthusiasm, chat, but we aren't trying to get this channel popped. Keep the swearing down, trying to build the channel. Yes, I would appreciate it. I try to skip around them, but I don't always. Let's see here. Richard says, and you prove my point by pointing out the King can still pull sponsors for sure, no doubt about it. That's his one job left, and he's actually doing it. So there you go. I hope Haley and Gregson perform well in Cup right now. I would really love to see Noah Gragson give Ty Gibbs a run for his money for Rookie of the Year. The way that Legacy or Petty GMS finished last year, I thought he was actually going to be in a car fast enough to do it, but I don't think he's in a car fast enough to do it. And Ty Gibbs has already figured out. Looks like so far, Ty Gibbs has started to figure out that car, so it looks like the Rookie of the Year is pretty much over with. Justin Haley's a good driver. I think he just needs to sort of first off, Colleague needs to sort of figure out the car a little bit better. They seem to be just a little bit behind RCR for whatever reason. They're basically on the same campus. I don't know why they're running dramatically different, but he's a good driver. He'll figure it out. Martin Truex Jr. is having the same performance as Jimmy Johnson from 2017 to 2020. Yeah, it could be, and it could be the same situation where it's sort of a crew chief issue. Chad Canals and him stopped getting along, and then he got some other crew chiefs in there, and they just didn't mesh as well. Shaw says, "Oh, I forgot. Thumbs up. Fix that. Come on again and give BB a thumbs up and cheers." So, yeah, if you want to hit the thumbs up button, that would much be appreciated. Robert Stone says, "Denny thinks disrespect is racing him hard. Anything but pulling out of his way is disrespect." So, yeah, I think there's a lot of drivers like that. Speaking of a team that went downhill 17 months and a half a year. What the heck happened to Martin Truex Jr. and the Joe Gibbs Racing number 19 team? They just have collapsed since 2021. Something needs to change now. Maybe he's like Kyle Busch. He just needs to change of scenery. That could be the issue. Streamlabs says, "Who is the Mount Rushmore of NASCAR on Earth 2? Who's been bad for like a really long time, but is still in there? Bones, what's up, man, with the super chat? Whoops, there you go. There's a fist bump. Got it up there. Appreciate the super chat there, Bones. Who has been bad for an extended period of time that is still racing? Let me think on that one for just a minute. If there's a Team Dale Jr. and Junior Motorsports can buy it, it should be Spire. I mean, Spire is in there, but I think buying into Legacy, you've got more assets already built in. Let's see here. And you don't have to buy in as much. The charters are already there. So I don't know. Let's see. But either one would be viable. I agree with that. Say Kyle Nakaw. If Corey won the Daytona 500, then went on the ensuing media tour, there would be some new viewers for sure. Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Any Corey LaJoie win is going to be amazing. I'll tell you what. And this is the one team on Earth 2 that is going to be equal on both Earth 1 and Earth 2, and that's the Wood Brothers. The Wood Brothers have now been bad for such a long period of time, with the exception of the year that they had with Ryan Blaney, that I will just go ahead and say that the Wood Brothers would have to be number one on Earth 2, but they would also at some point be number one on Earth 1, because when they had David Pearson, they were actually number one on Earth 1. So the Wood Brothers are the only ones that have split the entire timeline. They have spent time at number one on both Earths. So that's I don't know why I thought about that there, other than I was thinking about a team. But I guess Rick Ware Racing would have to be a dynasty, because technically I think Rick Ware Racing's been around since '94, so that long enough to be a dynasty. They've run bad enough since '94 to be a dynasty. Ryan Perez, I think the only way that Noah Gragson can win Rookie of the Year is to win a race and lock himself into the playoffs. Yeah, I think so too. He's going to have to. So the one good thing is they are good on super speedways. So if Noah can get one of those, that could do the trick. LaJoie is a wheel man. I've run against him, and he smoked me, says Josh Strickland. Yeah, Corey LaJoie is legit. He made my seat a long time ago, but I had to get rid of that seat because he didn't make it for me. It was just the seat that was in my car that I bought when it was there, and I tried to make it work, but it just wasn't right, and I didn't have time to take it back up there and get it readjusted and all that good junk. Because yes, I know they adjust the LaJoie seats for pretty much inexpensively. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to defend Denny here. What he did was bad, but you know what? In 3 years, the very same stuff has happened to him for no reason. 2021 Indy and Martinsville, and 2022 as a whole. Yeah, but this isn't the only time that he's done that. So you're going to get some pushback on that one, because there's been some other ones. T-Van, what's up? Glad to have you as a member. Let's see here. Too bad Josh Berry is not in the running for rookie. He is outshining Coach Gibbs, Spawn, and Noah. Yeah, I think Josh Berry would definitely make it interesting. But you also got to remember Josh Berry is sitting in the 9 car. That 9 car is elite. So let's not take anything away from Noah. Coach Gibbs' son is sitting in a good piece though, so I'm not going to give him the same grace there. Mark Barnum was an interesting comment by Reddick on DBC. It seemed like the Cup cars drove like trucks as far as aero. Hey, so there you go. That is an interesting take. I haven't watched Door Bumper Clear, but if it drives like trucks, that would explain why Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch are doing much better with this package than some other drivers, right? Paul Menard came so close to the Mount Rushmore on Earth 2, but just ran so mediocre, even in an alternate reality. Say Kyle, not Kyle says that's a fact. That's a good one there too. I'm trying to think of another driver who would have been at both ends of it. Derek Cope maybe because he had that Daytona 500 win, but then he never had a great career after that. He had 2 wins. I think the other one was Talladega. So I'll have to think on that one for a minute. A guy that maybe won a bunch of Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty spent time on both ends of the spectrum on both Earths. Kyle Petty early in his career was something to be reckoned with, but he just raced for so long. He should have retired way earlier. Let's see here. Aldous says, what do you fellas think is better? This is up for debate: Richmond in the day or Richmond at night? And he's talking about the Richmond Fairgrounds, not the current configuration of Richmond, if I'm not mistaken, Aldous. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Ricky Stenhouse is the worst still racing. He's just lucky and charming. I don't know. He has his moments. He just wrecks too much, man. Like the talent's there. He's just got to stop wrecking. He really reminds me a lot of Robbie Gordon. That's to me the closest I can get, except he's good at super speedways where Robbie Gordon was good at road courses. Molten Rage says, how many times has Denny been taken out because people forgot a brake pedal and plenty of times, but no one calls them out because if they did call him out, crybaby, maybe that has boiled over. I mean, it could. Aaron Flynn's sounds like they're still running Shine on Earth 2. They can do whatever you want to on Earth 2, no doubt about it. Earth 2, of course, is shaped like a number 3 toaster. So we did establish that last week. That is the shape of Earth 2, which that's probably one of the more awesome things about Earth 2. Molten Rage, there is a boiling point, and sometimes drivers get frustrated when they get driven over, like they aren't even on track. Maybe it's what's happening. He's getting frustrated being ran over all the time. I don't know, man. Maybe. Napa Racing fan, Legacy MC is a disaster right now. Not good news that they lost Tide and Gain to Bristol Dirt to Colleague. I agree. It's not a good look. Is JD McDuffie the king on Earth 2? He's got to be up there. He's got to be up there. He's got to be one of them. He's the king on Earth 1 too, because he was an independent. So I got all kinds of respect for JD McDuffie, man. He did everything on the car himself in an era where nobody did everything on the car themselves. Obviously, didn't have the results, but it is what it is. Him and Jimmy Means, man, they were all timers. Carl Long's got to be on that list too. Petty GMS and Richard and Mike Harmon. Petty GMS and Richard Petty Motorsports were in a better place than Legacy currently is. If it wasn't for the GMS guy owning Allegiant, I would agree with you. But I don't know. The way airlines are looking right now, they might be in trouble too. My sympathy for Denny got stolen by Ross Chastain in a really fast car, says Thomas Nichols. For sure. Earth 2 Moonshine would be at Black Thunder instead of White Lightning. It could be. Yeah, I don't know. What's the apple? What's the opposite of apple pie? What would be the opposite of that? That would be because we talked about what apple pie was one of the more common ones around here now. Angus 420. I grew up with 2000s NASCAR, and all I remember is Kyle Petty wrecking all the time. Yeah, so back in I guess the 80s, early 90s, Kyle Petty was actually really good. If you look back to when he was in that mellow yellow car and all the years before that, Kyle Petty routinely finished in the top 10 in points. And that might not sound impressive, but then look at the top 10 in points that he was finishing top 10 in points with. Kyle Petty was a wheel man until he lost his focus and wanted to become a country music star. Aldous says, I'm talking about if Richmond Fairgrounds is better. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Richmond Fairgrounds is better on a Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. There you go. I figured that's what you meant, but I thought I'd clear it up for everybody. I still lean toward a night race there, just because night races seem to be more fun. Shaw says, "Oh my God, Robbie Gordon was awful. LOL. Not a fan of him either." Yeah. So, but he got it done on road courses. But he would sort of like have ADD moments and lose concentration in the middle of a race. Like he was good at a 200 lap race. That's why he was good in the Busch Series. But when it went over 200 laps, he just couldn't concentrate that long, in my opinion. But he's one of those guys. You can put him in anything, and he'll get you immediately there, like 90% of the way. Tony Stewart even said that about him. Chrome Diesel, is Jeff Gordon a 7-time defending champion on Earth 2? That would have to be. We'll have to go Earth 3 on that one because Earth 3 would have to be like a reality where the playoffs or the chase never happened. Earth 2 is basically just the opposite of Earth 1, where like Mike Harmon is a 7-time NASCAR champion and things like that. Let's see. Justin Haley, I don't know. I like him, but I don't even know why he is a Cup Series talent. He is not impressed at all, other than a Mickey Mouse win. He has done nothing in Cup, to be honest. I don't know. He's pretty solid. He had a pretty good year last year, in my opinion. Shaw, my sister's ex-boyfriend worked for Robbie Gordon and Jeremy Mayfield, says Angus 420. So there you go. Jeff Gordon is the gas man on Earth 2. Hey, there you go. F in the chat for JD. Yeah, for sure. Just in case nobody knows, F in the chat means I respect. So F in the chat is respect for JD in the chat. Cassandra Keller, hi y'all from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Late to the party. What's up, Cassandra? What's up, Coeur d'Alene? Delmar Kaufman, Sabco days, number 42. Yeah, Sabco racing was awesome. Later on became Felix Sabatis and Chip Ganassi. Sabco with Ganassi with Felix Sabatis. But yeah, that was the same team. So let's see. Mark Barnum says, hi, Cassandra. I like Jeremy Mayfield and Angus 420. I think a lot of people like Jeremy Mayfield. He got into his share of troubles, whether you believe his story or not, that it was a witch hunt from Brian France. Either way, it cost him a good portion of his career. Molten Ray says, on Earth 2, Cole Custer is a 2-time Xfinity Series champion, closing in on the title, number 3 this year. I'll roll with that. Ghetto Streamlabs, NASCAR, Mount Rushmore, the chase format, current Fox coverage, Rick Ware Racing, and Juan Pablo Montoya. There you go. JPM, he was underrated for sure. Let's see. Nighttime is the right time. As always, I agree with that. Montoya, Mount Rushmore. Says Joshua Jenkins. Remember Robbie throwing the roll bar padding like banana peels, says Angus 420. Hey, you need a caution. You got to do what you got to do. Brickford Bricks, Lake Speed was another awesome independent, built his own chassis and motors and did a lot with a little. That's for sure. That's for sure. No doubt about it. The old Purex man, he drove the Purex car for a lot of his career. Most notably, though, of course, he drove the number 9 Spam car. If you want to know about Spam, check out Slap Shoes, A Brief History of Spam. Let's see here. Airlines aren't looking good. I think that might be part of it. Johnson could get messed over in this deal unless Junior comes in. That could be it. That could be it. Cole Custer so far and Earth has not been great. Indeed, he's seated 5th in the standings, but there's still time for him to get his mojo to get his 3rd Xfinity championship. No doubt about it. Shaw showing respect for the old driver of the number 70 Rumple car, J.D. McDuffie. Brandon Bolin, I find it funny since JGR got rid of my boy Kyle Busch. JGR hasn't run worth a darn, and Rowdy has already has a win. Yes, I didn't have that on my bingo card this year that Kyle Busch, this deep into the season, that Joe Gibbs Racing wouldn't have a win. I didn't have that. I thought they would definitely have at least 1 or 2 wins. But right now, Kyle Busch by himself is holding serve. At the Rolex one time, and a girl said her boyfriend's chicken racing is in the lead. There you go. Say Kyle, not Cal. I appreciate you there, buddy. Napa Racing fan, NASCAR Race Hub is having a show of North Wilkesboro All-Star Race on Thursday. Format will probably be released. That'll be pretty cool. Earth 2 Dale Jr. Exceeds Dale Sr. No doubt about it. But on either Earth, they're just on Earth 2. They're on Earth 2, I should say. They would both be middle of the pack since Earth 2 is the exact opposite. Let's see. Austin Dillon on Earth 2 has been demoted to Xfinity and is leading the points. He's impressing everyone. And he's done it all on his own without any help from anybody. So don't forget that part. Johnny Benson, most underrated driver, won in all 3 series. Hey, there you go. He is an underrated driver. I agree with that. Alice says NASCAR needs to do this for their broadcast contract. NBC, USA, Peacock, ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Plus, and stream it for free on YouTube for sure. They definitely need a strong streaming partner. So I'm hoping they go with YouTube or Amazon there, just because they have the best sports streaming. And I know people hate Amazon. Save that. I got it. I get it. You hate Amazon. Fried spam, says Shaw. No doubt about it. Fried spam is good, especially if you chop it up into little chunks. Delmore Kaufman, I love Jeremy Mayfield, rattling Dale Jr.'s cage at Pocono. Yep. And Dale Sr. would have got him back too. Don't worry about that. Robin Marks, Dale Jr. confessed they had a specific piece of foam to throw out to get a yellow. Hey, there you go. Every team has their tricks. Streamlab says Junior said on the Dale Jr. download that when he was with Tony Uri, they had a piece of padding on the roll bars specifically designed to pull off and throw out the window to get a yellow. So there you go. Reconfirming that one. Let's see. Roush number 1 says you did not give me a heart for saying that Toyota sucked. What gives with that, man? I don't know. I thought I did. Like sometimes I miss them. It wasn't on purpose. I don't know. I usually just heart all of them, regardless. So I haven't been able to get through all of them. I've been at work, so that video did a lot better than I thought it would do. So there's actually a ton of comments I haven't gotten to on that one. Like I said, I try to get to all of them. I don't always get to all of them, but I think I did comment on it. So I did comment on it, at least I think. Angus 420 says, I forgot who Junior was talking to on the download about putting someone else's number parts and then throwing them out on the track. That would be elite. That would be something I would do. Napa says, how long will Joe Gibbs Racing stay winless in the points races? They could win anywhere at any time. Yeah, I don't think it'll be long. Stephen River says, E-Name Racing funny, but try to keep it cool, my friend. Robert Marks, yeah, Streamlabs also heard that video this week as well. Mark Barnum, Earth 2, Toyota never wins a race and are all outrun weekly by Herbie the Love Bug. That's right. Naturally aspirated, non-cooled engines are faster on Earth 2. That would definitely make sense. Good show tonight. Denny sucks, says Josh Strickland. Molten Rage. Right now, the reason Earth 2, Austin Dillon is getting hate by fans is because he's wrecked out Cole Custer late in the race. Intentionally, he right hooked Custer into the wall to win the race and isn't sorry. Roush number 1 says he was just kidding. So there you go. Like I said, I do sometimes forget to hit the heart button, and I have heard about it in the past. No doubt about that. But it's all good. I miss Robbie Gordon. He was a character to the sport, and when he wouldn't give up that win in Canada, I want to say he had some balls burning down burning down the tires in the winner's circle at the same time as the winner. Yeah, that was pretty tough, no doubt about it. Say Kyle, I hope NASCAR has to pay has you pay to stream through their app and get you the raw feed from whoever the broadcast added bonus. If we were to hear between the commercial audio, oh, no doubt about it. That would be cool. Like that was something you could get back in the day with satellite when they first came out, but not anymore. Ribeye steak is the opposite of apple pie. Hey, so there you go. So ribeye steak moonshine, or it would be day shadow. Ribeye steak day shadow. Right. So Earth 2. It's getting confusing on Earth 2 now. I'm going to start writing that stuff down. Roush number 1 says your channel is the only NASCAR channel, NASCAR related channel I watch religiously. I appreciate it, man. I do my best. I swear I do my best. I tried to make a video today, but I just didn't have time to do it. Roush number 1 says, if you ever want to go to Michigan or Mid-Ohio, I'll gladly take you up on my dime. I appreciate it. If the short track schedule ever opens up and I get a chance to go up there, Michigan is definitely one I want to check out. So that's one I'm definitely interested in. Mid-Ohio also wouldn't be bad. To be honest, IndyCar does better than NASCAR and F1, especially when it comes to officiating. That's probably a fair statement. F1 and NASCAR definitely have a bit of corruption in them, in my opinion. Maybe Hamlin, Truex, or Bell will win Martinsville. Hendrick always runs strong there, though. Yeah, that's sort of a Hendrick deal, but Richmond is a Toyota track, and they just got upset this weekend. So who knows what will happen over at Martinsville? Earth Two, Dodge, and Plymouth has always been and always will be the dominant car of major teams. Hey, there you go. Plymouth by Petty dominating on Earth 2. Damon Racing. Baloney, how long do you think Hendrick can keep those four drivers together before the egos become a problem like we already saw it last year at Watkins Glen? That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe Kyle Larson can get lured by Tony Stewart would be my only thought there. Hey, there you go. They're in and out of the sport. Streamlabs says, I think F1 are too far on one side of the pendulum, and NASCAR is too far on the other side of the officiating pendulum. I'm with you on that one. It's just in what you prefer. I think F1 you can buy your way out, and I think in certain situations in NASCAR you can buy yourself out too. But IndyCar might be a little too stringent in some areas as well. So I don't know. NASCAR could take a break. The viewing numbers, if it ran Iowa and had Caitlin Clark as Grand Marshal, yeah, that would probably help. She's a big deal right now, and of course, nobody had heard of her until the tournament, or most people hadn't heard of her until the tournament about a week or two ago. Does Pontiac still exist on Earth 2? Oh, yeah, no, without a doubt. Chevrolet on Earth 2, Chevrolet is folded, and it is just Pontiac and Buick. So let's see. It's just Pontiac and Oldsmobile. Old Home Guy says, howdy from northern Minnesota. What's up, Minnesota? What's up, Old Home Guy as well? Stupid River saying, we all know it. Damon Racing, just trying not to get popped. Yeah, for sure. I don't want to get popped. I have problems with that, just speaking regularly about certain topics. And on Earth 2, Ty Dillon is trying to be a four-time champ. Oh, without a doubt. Four-time champion in every series, not just the truck series right now. Looking really good, and he is on his way for his fourth title. Robbie Gordon got his lucky helmet. Got lucky his helmet didn't ricochet and hit himself in the head when he threw it at Waltrip. That's probably a fair point, Robin Marks. Roush getting a kick out of that just as much as I was there. Stupid Roofer, my work here is almost done. Great channel. Thank you, BB, and the chat. Appreciate it, Stupid Roofer. Escobar, what's the news about Truex? Well, a lot of Truex fanatics are thinking that they might have a change at crew chief if it doesn't get any better over there. So that was the Truex deal. Great community and awesome chat, says Roofer. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I'm going to go on here for just a couple more minutes. So get your questions in here, and I'll get these last few of them answered, and then I will sign off in about 3 minutes. There, we'll make it a clean hour. I wish Pontiac still existed on Earth 1. Me too. That Firebird, Smokey and the Bandit. I watched it last night because it's on. It was either on Netflix or one of the other ones. I've only got two, so it was on one of the two. But I watched that the other night, and that car, they had restored the footage or whatever. That car just looks so beautiful. I miss the old Firebirds. Let's see here. Hence the flag right there. That's the Firebird bird. In case nobody knew that. Shaw says Earth 2 Fargo is the best in the truck series. LMAO. So yeah, no doubt about it. Aldous says I would be fine if Iowa got reconfigured, shortened the layout to 7.75 miles with 12 to 14 degrees of progressive banking with 45,000 seats. I like the smaller seat number because it's going to make it look more crowded. And if they absolutely need to, they can add a few more seats. But I like keeping it sort of a more cozy event, just to prove that NASCAR usually outsells most of your major sports 9 times out of 10. I agree with that. Napa Racing fan, could Small make Truex want to retire? That's what a lot of people are saying. So that's basically the Martin Truex news. It's not really news so much. It's a lot of people have that opinion, and I just felt like I'd address it today. Josh Strickland, peace out. People going back to work. Hey, there you go, Josh. I hate that you got to go back to work, but make that money, my man. Say Kyle says, who will we watch as far as fantasy picks in your opinion? I haven't even looked at that one yet, so I can't. I'll definitely have you. I'll have you ready on Sunday, but I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't pull one out. Joey Logano, I know, is really good there, so probably Joey Logano. and Martin Truex Jr., I would imagine. But I think Martin Truex wrecked the other race. I don't know. Definitely Joey Logano, though. Peace out, folks, says Shaw. Escobar, the Pontiac Aztecs was the best car in the world. Yeah, and now they have a line. It's much like a car that is beloved now. There's several generations of Pontiac Aztec, a very sporty car. Moulton says Ross Chastain on Earth 2 is still driving underfunded equipment, but is overachieving. Who's going to pick him? And he's driving super clean, and everybody likes him. And they need to pick him up, driving for the money team, Inspire, trying to become an all-timer with his talent. RFK is kicking everyone's rear on Earth 2. No doubt about it. I think on Earth 2, they're fixing to be terrible, because I think on Earth 1, they're about to take off. NASCAR needs to go for 800 horsepower hybrid engines. I'd love to see it, but they're not going to budge on it till they get another manufacturer in there. The year one Firebird is fire, says Steve Roofer. I agree. I don't think there was a Firebird they made that I disliked, to be totally honest with you. Roofer said, yeah, the year one Firebird is fire. Robin Marks had a Trans Am 476, fun. Good job tonight. I appreciate it. Ryan Perez on Earth 2. Eric Jones is still in the 20 and made the Final Four last year. Hey, 100%. I'm with you on that one, man. He needs to win a championship on one of the Earths. I like the old Jones boy. Napa racing fan Martin Truex Jr. Was always a good driver, but Cole Pern helped make him a great driver. Yeah, you got to have both. You got to have a great crew chief. You can't just be a good driver. Those days are over with. OJ and Toothpaste says, do you think the 42 and the 43 will make the playoffs this year? Oh, man. I think the 43 makes it. But I don't think the 42 will. Molten Rage, who would you pick up on the underrated talent that is Ross Chastain on Earth 2? Or if you're talking about Earth 2, OJ, then definitely the 43 is definitely going to make it. I'm sorry, definitely the 42 is going to make it, but I don't know about the 43. So reverse that if you're talking about Earth 2. Sorry about that, dude. Molten, who would you pick on underrated talent? Ross Chastain on Earth 2. Pick him up with pickup teams. T-Van, I truly would like to see guys build old cars for the All-Star race. Build different year with modern technology every year. That would be pretty cool. Would be cost prohibitive, but it would be cool. Peace. See you guys later, says Thomas Nichols. Thanks for the entertainment. Appreciate the show. So thanks to BB the man. I appreciate it, Thomas Nichols. I'm not the man, but I do my best. That's for sure. And thank you for checking us out and being a loyal watcher. Mark Barnum says Earth 2 races are run clockwise. Oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. Bumblebee says, good night, y'all. I'm falling asleep. Long day. Good night, Bumblebee. Thanks for hanging out. Damon says, be good, everyone. Catch you on the next live. We in LA appreciate the late starts. I do my best, man. I understand the West Coast time after being out there for about a week in Phoenix. So I get it. Mark Barnum says later. EB Moulton says maybe the great championship contender on Earth 2 is Chip Ganassi Racing. Pick up Ross Chastain. Hopefully, one wise guy saying thumbs up. Super River saying the Hank saying thank you, BB chat. Now I got to get out of here, you bums. 07 y'all. Until next time. Peace out, Stupid Roofer. Shy Earth 2. BB owns YouTube and Mike Joy's job on TV. We would keep Mike Joy. We would have to keep old Mike in there. Molten Rage. Ross deserves better equipment on Earth 2. He should not be running the money team. Inspire Motorsports overachieving. He really shouldn't. Come on, guys, pick him up. Yep. They might pick him up. He's sort of in the Corey LaJoy spot over there on Earth 2. Wilkesboro needs to be a throwback paint scheme. Oh, I agree with that 100%, Escobar. That's definitely what they need to do. At least Harvick's doing it. Should NASCAR have a dirt race? I say yes, with all three top series at Eldora. I would like to see an Eldora dirt race for Cup. 43 round of 8 on Earth 1. LOL, says OJ and Toothpaste. So yeah, I hope the 43 can turn it around this year. Robin Mark says, go Ross, go. I've been rooting for Earth 2 Ross. I've been wanting him to get better equipment. I really have, says Molten. And the Xfinity need to race on dirt. And Mark Barnum says, later, y'all. And I'm going to do the same. I appreciate it. It was fun, as always. Thank y'all for checking us out. And we'll be back on Sunday morning and after the race. Sunday before the race, not technically Sunday morning. All right. See y'all on the next one. Peace.